I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner Diaz. Today, a leftover makeover as we show you how to clear out the fridge and upcycle your Turkey Day trimmings into maple sage stuffing waffles with buttermilk fried turkey. Back for more in the kitchen today is Eric McHugh. He's the executive chef of Florfina, the restaurant inside Ebor's Hotel Hyatt. Thanksgiving might be over, the family's finally left town, but the meal you made might still be in your fridge. Chef Eric is here to let us all see our milk and eggs again as we have a clear out blowout to use up whatever you have clogging the fridge. What are we doing?
Well, you know, you have all this food left over from Thanksgiving. The whole family is in, and you made this feast, and you have all this leftovers. And usually we always just slap it between some slices of bread and make a sandwich.
Easy breezy. That's what it comes down to.
Sure. I want to take that another level and have some brunch the next morning. We wake up, we watched football, we had some drinks. Now we're ready for brunch the next morning.
100%.
So we're going to reimagine this, and we're going to take our leftover sage stuffing. We've got, you know, the typical bread stuffing with onions and celery and some fresh sage in there. We're going to put that into a bowl. We're going to mix in a couple of eggs. It's about 4 eggs beaten to about a quart or 4 cups of the stuffing. And then I got about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. We're just gonna kind of put that syrup in the waffle a little bit. Okay. Because this isn't...
Little pockets of flavor fun happening right there.
Sure, and it's not necessarily a sweet dish, but we're gonna throw some sweetness into it here and there and make a nice little fun, sweet and savory dish. So we just mix that simply by hand here, and we've got this little batter, and that egg is gonna help hold that stuffing together as we go into our waffle iron.
Nice.
Which we've already got nice and hot. I gave it a little bit of spray. I'll give it a touch more to make sure we don't stick. And then we're just going to take it and kind of pack it and press it in there by hand and make sure we fill this waffle maker. And that's going to kind of, you know, bread pudding, if you will, like a savory bread pudding, but fry it crispy with that oil in the waffle maker and give us a nice little crunchy, savory, sweet stuffing waffle.
I love that. Now, this is also, because you're incorporating those eggs, you're bringing back a level of moisture too, right?
Correct. We're going to try to make sure we don't end up with dry stuffing, dry waffle. We still want that nice stuffing, all that work we put into it with the stock and the butter and everything to be there, just reimagined. And that egg's gonna help hold it together, keep it moist, a little sweetness from the maple syrup.
Now this is an amazing waffle iron here. I mean, I've got one at the house, you've got one here. How many do you have?
Oh my goodness, I probably have 3 or 4 waffle irons
at home. You have 3 or 4 waffle irons at home?
I do, but I had to get a new one for this segment because all the ones I have at home are Star Wars themed. So.
All right, so like, do we have like ones that have like Yoda's head or something like that? Like, what do we got?
We've got Baby Yoda's head, we have the Mandalorian mask, I've got Darth Vader's head, and we've got the Death Star, of course.
You have to have the Death Star. I mean, come on
now. That's the big round Belgian waffle.
That's what you want on the plate. Like, that's what I would be having for it there.
Absolutely.
Right. That is, from a professional chef, it is cool to have Star Wars in the food.
It's cool you know, for me. So
me too on that one. And that's it. That is it. All right. So what are we looking for? How do we know when this is going to be ready to?
Well, we're going to let that sit there. Obviously, the bread is already cooked and stuff. We're just going to let it sit in there for 4 to 6 minutes, depending on your waffle iron. And
you could start smelling all those flavors coming together.
Bread come together. While that's cooking, we'll start going ahead and make our sauce that we're going to finish this all off with. Because everybody has a little of that canned cranberry sauce left over.
I love it. I love it. There's a debate. Should you not? Chef?
You know, there's a time and a place for everything, and I think cranberry sauce with the ridges out of the can has its certain place at the Thanksgiving table.
Yes. Yes. I literally have my fingers crossed. I am so excited because that is it. Yes, it happens. It works.
It's just tradition, you know.
It happens.
Can you make it better? Sure. Could I make it better? Sure.
But should you?
But it's not the original canned one. You don't mess with it.
Nostalgia, people. It's nostalgia. All right.
So we've got our leftover cranberry sauce. We're just going to mash it up here, and we're going to turn that into a cranberry hot honey.
Very cool.
So I have about a cup of fresh local honey here. This is local orange blossom honey that I'm going to put into the bowl with it. And then the hot. I choose to use sriracha. I think we've had conversations before about our love for sriracha. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons in there. You can put more, you can put less. Really kind of play with that one.
You know, it's kind of fun because Holden, my son, he would not eat sriracha with me, but after watching your episode with making them with sriracha and us having conversations about it, That's all he wants now. He's like, "That's not hot. It's not hot." He's 7 years old. He's like, "That's not hot. It's not hot at all, Dad. I'm good."
Well, that's awesome. But now you can
introduced it to him.
You can smell the sriracha, the cranberries, all of that coming together. And this is just our little sauce that we're going to finish it all off. So we're going to just set this aside for now and make sure we've got that for when it's all over and said and done.
Perfect, because before you toss your tired turkey and stuffing, get Chef Eric's recipe for how to turn it into something even better at dinnerdeas.com. Just grab your phone. Bonus points if you got a brand new one on Black Friday. You save $5 from lining up at 4 a.m. to buy it. Congratulations. Put it to use, because open up the camera app, pointing at that squiggly thing right there in the corner. A link is going to pop right up. Just press on it. Eric, where is that? Where's the QR code? It's right there. It's right there.
It's
right
there.
It's right there.
It's right there in front of me.
That one right there. That little box right there. Boom, right there. Just press it. It's going to take you right to our site. This is looking like it's coming along very nice. The smells are fantastic.
Oh, it's coming along.
Colors are where we need it to be.
We're almost there.
Awesome. Our Thanksgiving sequel, The Stuffing Strikes Back, thanks to Chef Eric for that title, my friend, continues when we come right back after the break and get our leftover turkey where it belongs. Deep fried in buttermilk. That's ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Ideas for dinner served daily, or rather ideas for how to use up Thanksgiving leftovers. Here with how to make it all into a new meal, which, dare we say it, could be even better than its first go-around, is Chef Eric McHugh. He's the executive chef at Florfina and Ebor's Hotel Hyatt, or at least when he's not cooking for us. My friend, before the break, as if by just magic, we made, look at that, literally, dude, by magic, maple stuffed waffles here. Look at that. It's got a little bit of everything. The leftover stuffings, repurposed, because now we're taking the turkey and turning it into buttermilk fried turkey?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, fried chicken. Who doesn't love fried chicken? And then we've just got a really big chicken here. We've got all this leftover food we spent hours yesterday perfecting and making sure the family loves us for.
Absolutely.
Now let's make it better.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. I like it.
Absolutely. So we just got our leftover turkey, you know, and we've got these slices. I just kind of cut them down into about finger-sized pieces.
Now, Dad, if you're watching, I love you, Dad, but this is how you slice turkey, because my dad makes it like it's deli thin slices. Now, this is a slice that you want for this, right?
Big thick slices. You know, obviously you want it to have enough kind of substance to the turkey to be able to batter it and fry it. Kind of think like chicken fingers or chicken nuggets.
Absolutely. You want to make sure you have enough for all that flavor to take on, because I'm going to take a bite, because who doesn't love turkey Thanksgiving? I mean, leftovers from it all. That's what you're going for. Come on now.
Absolutely. So we got a bowl here where I just mixed up some plain non-sweetened Greek yogurt, a little bit of buttermilk, about almost equal parts there, and I put a little hot sauce because I love hot sauce, number one.
You and your hot sauces, my friend.
There's always going to be hot sauce for some reason or another.
There's always going to be a hot sauce, but I'm still chewing the turkey here. Why the Greek yogurt, though?
The Greek yogurt, it helps with the acidity that it brings to things. It helps with the buttermilk to really penetrate and really, you know, keep that turkey moist, help to flavor it, as well as the buttermilk is thin-ish on consistency, and that Greek yogurt helps thicken it up a little bit more, lets it stick and get a nice batter to it. And the hot sauce, just because the vinegar and the acidity and
a little bit of flavor. And again, folks, if you're at home watching this and you don't want to put any hot sauce to it, you don't need to. This was your Thanksgiving. This was your turkey. This is just the way we're having fun with it.
Absolutely.
So you have fun with it too. If you don't want hot sauce, don't add the hot sauce.
You know, it's your sandbox, playing it however you want.
It works.
My sandbox has hot sauce, you know.
Hey, and that's the sandbox I'm playing in with you today, man. So
we're going to put those turkey pieces in this mixture, and we're going to marinate it usually for about a half an hour, up to overnight. If you want to do it the night before, after you're cleaning up your leftovers.
So this is the perfect. So if you really were kind of adventurous before the tryptophan kicked in, you could start doing this Thursday night.
Absolutely. You know, if you take that turkey before you bother dirtying up a Tupperware, just take that turkey, cut it down, put it in the marinade in a bowl, and stick that away. And it's put away, and it's ready to go for the next morning.
Okay, so because of that reason, then at that point, like all the shopping was already done, all of it was done, or if you needed to, you got time on your hands now.
Right.
Okay, see?
You got some time on your hands to relax, wait for everybody to wake up, be ready to go, get your waffles done, and then we're just gonna the next morning, pull it out, or after half an hour, we're gonna pull it out. You've had a mimosa. Now we're just gonna start breading it. Now, you can do this a couple of times if you'd like. Doesn't have to all be in one shot.
Okay.
I guess it depends on how thick you really want your breading to be. So you could just simply do it one time.
Just a one pass over.
One pass over and be done with it.
But that's not what you want to do.
That's not how we do it in the South. We double bread in buttermilk. So we're going to take it, roll it all the way in that flour, and put it back in the buttermilk. One of the things, too, that also helps with, as you'll see, with that buttermilk that went into our flour mixture.
Because this is the only acceptable way to double dip.
Only acceptable
No one
way to
else can double dip. You can't double dip anything but double dipping batter like this.
Double dipping batter. But the way we've done it like this, and we've already had that buttermilk in the flour, it's going to create some little lumps of that flour mixture, and that's going to give us those little kind of chunkies and texture to that fried chicken or fried turkey in this case.
So you're going to get crunch, you're going to get flavor.
That's,
Awesome. To get Chef Eric's recipes for using up your leftovers, and sorry, it does include how to fix any of the family foods, which I know probably did happen. The aunt is still mad at the uncle. I get it. I know it happens to all of us. Go to our website, dinnerdeas.com, where you can also find his previous appearances on this very show, making chorizo meatballs, and most recently, turkey porchetta. Just scan the QR code.
So now we're just going to simply, after we got that double bread, if you're feeling frisky, go back a third and fourth time if you want. Depends on how much breading you like.
The cholesterol's already kind of high on me to begin with, so we're going to keep it to 2 for today.
We're just going to double bread that.
Just a double.
And we're going to spread them out on, right here, our plate lined with paper towels. You can use a drying rack on top of a sheet tray or anything like that. But anything just to kind of really let that flour absorb the buttermilk and create this nice little dry breading on there.
Now, I got to ask the question, chef here, some people will have turkey and the leftovers and everything kind of last through the weekend. Maybe they kind of push it. What's really the optimal time to say, hey, enough is enough, we're good? Get rid of it out of the fridge.
I think the technical time is 5 days after it's been cooked. But to me, get it used up in the next day or two because it's just going to dry out. It's going to be no good.
Absolutely.
You're going to be overeating turkey.
And that's no fun because you're taking away the joy of what was a beautiful meal, absolutely beautiful ways to reuse it and to find a new way to upcycle it. Why keep spreading that? It's okay. You can
have your Thanksgiving meal, have your beautiful brunch the next day, make a turkey sandwich the day after that,
and then you're done.
And move on to thinking about Christmas.
That's the spirit. And Christmas, you got a lot of things that are happening over at the restaurant then too.
We do. We actually have a beautiful family-style feast going on, a 4-course family-style feast, and I think we're going to throw out some things like braised lamb shanks.
Come on now.
Some halibut and stuff, and it's just takes the pressure off of you having to order and look at a menu and figure it out. You just sit down with your family, and we just fill the table up a few times with salads and bread and different things.
And you guys are taking reservations for the Roosevelt Room because that is my favorite space in the entire restaurant.
As of right now, the Roosevelt Room will be, reservations can be made for it. But,
all right, fantastic.
It might get booked out. We never know.
That's why you need to act now. And while our turkey hangs out, we're taking a break. And when we come back, the makeover that all leftovers really need, because if state fairs have taught us anything about being health conscious, we're deep frying them into deliciousness. Ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. Today, we're giving your Thanksgiving leftovers a makeover. Chef Eric McHugh is turning your Turkey Day trash into treasure. We've spun stuffing into maple sage stuffing waffles, and before the break, we marinated the meat into what's going to be buttermilk fried turkey. Let's go, my friend.
We've got the meat, we've got the buttermilk, now the fry.
Now it's the fry.
You can do this if you have one, an at-home fry daddy or fryer and turn it on to 350 degrees. Or like we have here, a Dutch oven. We just filled it up with some canola oil or high temperature frying oil of your choice. And then you use a candy thermometer. I usually don't use thermometers. I just kind of watch it.
You know it already. You've got an idea for it.
I put my hand in here and go,
Oh, yeah, really? You're going to put the hand right into it there. But those at home that are watching this and thinking, hey, I don't have a fryer at the house, but maybe I do have a Dutch oven. What are some of the safety precautions that maybe they should be considering before even pouring the oil into some level of,
Sure, definitely at home, you definitely want to use a thermometer, a candy thermometer, something that can be in there. You can keep an eye on the temperature and make sure that it's not going to go over, that it's not going to light on fire. Keep water and ice and things like that
Perfect
on
point.
the opposite side of the house.
100%. So piggybacking off of that thought, though, how important is it to have some ingredient, something, so that way then, you got your fire extinguisher ready to go. Are there other materials that maybe you could use to put out the fire?
Keep the lid for it handy.
Okay.
Cut off that oxygen, top it off right there. If it should spill out onto the stove, you can use some baking soda right there across the top of it, something like that, just to get the oxygen off and fire out.
Absolutely. Folks, we just want you to be safe, and we want you to be smart, and we want to prepare you with anything to take restaurant quality dishes that you're going to be making at your house and doing it the right way. So to find Chef Eric's recipes, head over to our website at dinnerdeas.com. If you get your phone and point the camera right there on the screen, a link pops up right there. It's going to take you straight to us, which is now where we need to be with our turkey being fried up. Our waffles already made, but this is brunch.
This is brunch. We're gonna fry an egg.
Come on now.
Fry an egg or two. So just as simple as that. We're just gonna take an egg, maybe
Isn't
two.
it like one of the best sounds is when it just kind of like, yeah.
That little sizzle right when it hits the pan.
That's it, man.
That's nothing better than that.
Right.
I love eggs. I just sprinkle a little kosher salt right over the top.
Okay.
We'll hit it with a little fresh pepper. We're just gonna let those fry. We're gonna let the turkey fry.
And
we're
it's
gonna
totally
build
cool.
brunch.
If you got a split yolk, it's cool. It's still going to taste fantastic.
It's still gonna taste delicious.
Absolutely. Because the real star in all of this, it's the turkey.
It's the turkey and the waffle.
Come on now. That's where we're coming from. You can have eggs any day of the year, but this is Thanksgiving. Come on now.
This is Thanksgiving, absolutely. So we're just gonna let the waffle do its speaking for itself. We put all that love into the stuffing yesterday, and we repurposed it.
I love that.
We've got this fried turkey here.
And what's kind of cool about that too is that, when you're thinking about making the stuffing, so many make so much of it. And that's one that hey, you can make in batch and be able to have a little bit of fun with it too.
Absolutely.
To be able to do this. So
we always make a ton of stuffing, but I'm never mad about stuffing leftovers.
Bingo.
So, we're just gonna fry up the turkey and get it nice and crispy and golden. And then we're gonna put it out on a paper towel to let it kind of absorb some of that excess grease off of it after it's done frying and nice and crispy.
now, let me ask you this though. All right, now you got
Coming
it.
out of the fryer, and instantly hit it with a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt. And
Always take your fried foods.
it's so important. Right when it came out of the hot oil, that's the moment to get that salt.
That way that salt sticks to that hot oil on the outside of the food and really kind of stays on there and keeps,
I love it.
Enhances the flavor.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
We got a little bit of a sticking problem with our eggs in this pan here, but that's okay. We're just gonna let it cook.
That's all good in my hood.
We're just gonna let it cook. We got one loosened up and that's all we need.
Now, let me ask you this though, because who was fighting over the wishbone with the Mayhew family Thanksgiving dishes?
Oh, it's usually
Who won the war on that one?
the wishbone was always usually my brother and I kind of going after it. We would always get the wishbone and crack it between the two of us.
Is that the cool part of taking because I remember you had to get your pinky around it and then you just kind of all right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Rip back.
See, and that's the cool thing. It's you still are able to have nostalgia and these memories that get passed down through food and the experiences around food. Look at that. Next level right there. Come on, that was just a little quick,
Just simple,
flick of
quick
the
little
wrist.
flip. We're gonna just flip it real quick for a second and let it kind of finish off the egg whites on that side. We're gonna take that cranberry hot honey we had from earlier.
Not just any hot honey, it's a hot cranberry. I mean, we're repurposing the cranberry sauce here, my friends.
We're gonna put that around there, and then we're gonna top it with that fried egg. And we got ourselves a little Thanksgiving Black Friday brunch.
A little feast. All right, my friends. Well, then this is where we're going to go for it because it's time for us to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're taste testing our Thanksgiving part 2. Join us to see how it all tastes ahead on Dinner Diaz. This is Dinner Diaz. We're here every day to bring you ways to make dinner more delicious. And today we have ways to make another meal from what's left of your Thanksgiving dinner. Joining me to clear out the fridge is Chef Eric Mayhew from Florfina at Ebor's Hotel Hyatt. We've made a maple sage stuffing waffle, and before the break, we did buttermilk fried turkey, all served with a cranberry hot sauce, my friend. This looks fantastic. The best ways to just reduce, reuse, recycle. And this right here, look at this. Look at this. Oh, dude. Come on now.
Yep.
This is I'm looking at this going I don't know what's more exciting. Is it the Thanksgiving and having the traditional pieces, or is it the upcycling of it? This is going to be the deciding factor.
This is what we want, right? Our guests to be silent.
And wanting more. Dude, to think that this was served with all the family around you, having the traditional way of doing Thanksgiving with the turkey and the stuffing and the cranberry sauce, your mashed potatoes. No, there was another life that needed to come because of this right here, dude.
We brought it back to life and took it beyond.
Absolutely, to like the next level beyond. I am absolutely loving this. And what's really exciting is actually that cranberry hot sauce, because like, you can put this on anything, man.
You can put that hot honey on anything, sandwiches, folded it into a little mayonnaise and make an aioli condiment out of it.
That makes your whole like turkey sandwich.
There you go.
I mean,
for
right
day
now,
3.
you got day 3 right there covered.
But yeah, it's just a really good sweet hot honey that you can save and make that cranberry sauce really kind of
How
extend
long
out.
would that stay for?
I'd let that go up to a week or 2.
Okay, so you got a little bit of time
Keep
to
it
work
in the
with.
fridge, keep it sealed well, but the
Okay.
honey is going to really help preserve that canned cranberry sauce, and you're all right.
You're all right. Thanks again to Chef Eric McHugh because he's all right. Visit him for delicious dinner anytime at Florfina in Ybors Hotel Haya. And make sure you're thinking about your holiday plans. Hotel Haya is there for you. And get his recipes for these at our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code with the camera on the phone, and a link should pop up right to take you there. And while you're there, let us know if you made anything from the show and send us a picture. We'd love to see it. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching. See you next time with more Dinner Dias.